Today we are going to be crushing 1400s as part of our ladder to the top series, and as always, we are going to be using different teams throughout the ladder run to make it more interesting and to give a real wide variety of teams. So we're going to start off with this Choice Specs team, which is basically an electric spam team, and you can find all these teams in the sample teams. This is actually an OU room sample team, and we are going to be crushing 1400s right now. We are at 1360 right now, and we'll try and go all the way to 1500. That is going to be our goal for today's live. Alright, and we get our first game. We have like an offensive team with Jellicent, and one thing we have right now, and it's something I really recommend at this range in the ladder, we have Toxic Spikes, and that is really good versus these type of offense teams you might see this low on the ladder. So let's take a look right now. He might lead with like some sort of Stealth Rock Lando, right? We do have Buzzwole with Ice Punch, Coco, we have Toxapex. He can't really one-hit KO Toxapex, so let's try and lead it and get a Toxic Spike up. And hopefully our goal is to get that Spike up, and we should be able to outlast the rest of his team with the combination of Buzzwole and Hippowdon. Specs and Magnezone might be a little slow for this game, but it shouldn't be an issue. We do have 5 other Pokemon that can lift its weight. So let's go ahead, and actually Magnezone could be good versus a Jellicent, for example. Yeah, so he leads Lele. Okay, so he immediately leads Lele, and now we might have to make some predictions, right? Specs Lele, we have a Corviknight, we have a Magnezone, we have a Hippowdon. What do we do here, right? My first instinct is to go Magnezone, and the reason is that even if he predicts us, it's not a big deal because Magnezone realistically is not going to be that amazing this game, right? So let's go Magnezone here. See, he does Psychic, he doesn't get the predict, right? Now we have a free Flash Cannon here, and I'm thinking it's Choice Scarf Lele, but we don't know. So he might go to Lando here, he might go Jellicent if he's predicting, but I think he'll go Lando right now. So you can see how we're managing predicting and we're managing risk reward as well right now, because we didn't risk our Corviknight for no reason, right? We get 71 off here right now. It is leftovers, probably Stealth Rock. And again, we have another opportunity to make a prediction. Do we predict a Stealth Rock and Flash Cannon for the kill? What do we do, right? Let's keep it simple right now. Let's go to Corviknight. So you get Stealth Rock up, and let's defog here. And again, we had the prediction option, but from risk reward, it wasn't really that good of a prediction, right? Now let's go to Hippowdon here, a free switch into Zapdos right now. He might go to Rillaboom maybe, he uses Thunderbolt, that's good. Now we have a free Toxic, nothing can switch into Toxic right now, so let's throw one off right now. And we're playing it safe, right? We're not making any crazy predictions, we're managing our risk and reward. He goes to Rillaboom now. We get a Toxic off, and here again, he's probably going to U-turn, but is it worth staying in on the U-turn? Probably not, right? Because what if he does attack, right? We don't want to be caught into a bad position right now. So we have to be careful. Let's just go Corviknight here. He's probably going to U-turn, but it's not worth risking staying in. Yeah, he does U-turn. That's it. We could have stayed in Stealth Rock, but it wasn't worth the risk in doing so. He goes to Blaziken now. Now we have some choices, right? We can Brave Bird, predicting like a Swords Dance, for example. We can go Toxapex, we can go Hippowdon. What do we do here? And the question right now is, do we have to take the risk and Brave Bird here? Do we have to take that risk right now? Because letting Blaziken get that Swords Dance up could be potentially game breaking. So we do have to make that decision. Is it worth taking the risk? So we need Corviknight for Rillaboom, Lando, and to an extent Tapu Lele. Can we handle Lando otherwise? We can. We have a Buzzwole. Can we handle Rillaboom otherwise? We do have a Buzzwole. What about Tapu Lele? Tapu Lele might be tough. So that's where we really have to start thinking, is it worth it? And here, I'm so scared of Swords Dance that I am going to Brave Bird here. Yeah, there we go. He has Focus Sash, and Sand kills him, right? So that was an example of risk versus reward right there. Blaziken getting a Swords Dance up would have been too threatening to my team, right? Because I don't know, is it Life Orb Flare Blitz that can potentially kill Hippowdon? Is it Life Orb Thunder Punch that can potentially kill Toxapex? What do I do, right? So it was too risky, and he does forfeit there, yeah. So a good one with balance right there. Let's try Hail Offense now. This is, again, a team from the OU Room sample teams. So these are all public teams. You don't have to build your own teams. These are all public teams right now. And we see kind of an offensive team with Hawlucha. So what do we have for Hawlucha? We do have an Assault Vest Torn. We do have Lando. We have Corviknight with Body Press. We have Ninetales. And we have Volcanion, which is very interesting. That combination of water and fire is tough to switch in for him. Let's go ahead and lead Ninetales to get our Hail up. He leads Heatran to counter lead us. Good play from him right now. And what do? Volcanion? We can go Volcanion here, right? We can go Lando potentially. We can go Torn with Assault Vest just to scout out what's going on. We have a lot of options. I'm going to go Torn and U-turn out. because Assault Vest means we can live a lot. So we do get lucky with Magma Storm there. Now we have options. We can knock off, we can U-turn. Let's knock off here to remove Heatran's leftovers. And then after that, we can probably go Lando on the Coco, for example. Let's throw off a knockoff here. He goes to his Lando here, and let's see if we can get the surprise kill with Weather Ball. Let's see if we can do it right now. He might U-turn here. I'm not sure what he's going to do right now. See if we can get the surprise kill right now. There we go, we got it, right? Really easy right now. Now what is he going to go to? He's going to go to Coco maybe? What is he going to do? He can go Coco. That seems the most likely right now. And then we have a decision to make right now. He is either going to electric move or U-turn, right? We can, but we have Assault Vest so we can live an electric type move if we choose to do it, right? So should we do that? Should we gamble on him using U-turn? Because even if we lose the gamble, we won't die, right? So is that a risk worth taking? That's a question you have to ask yourself. And I'm going to say why not, right? Let's do it. He can U-turn, he can Thunderbolt, he might even be Reflect Light Screen. Yeah, he uses U-turn, we live because we're Assault Vest, and now we can go to Lando. And now we can U-turn again. We can even Earthquake maybe? Should be Earthquake. Doesn't seem worth it. Let's U-turn here. And yeah, this is again about risk and reward, right? We were able to risk it because Torn lived any hit. Now you have some choices right now. Do we go to Torn and Heatwave? Do we go Volcanion? What do we do? I'm going to go Torn, simply so I can regen some health back. Heatwave shouldn't be doing enough, unfortunately, so we'll just U-turn into Volcanion. I wanted that damage back. So let's U-turn right now. Let's go Volcanion. He knocks us off, and that's actually a good thing for us right now, so we don't have to predict, right? We can Flamethrower and then Steam Eruption next. So let's Flamethrower here. He should be scared into potentially Dragapult, maybe. And all the while, you do have to remember that we do have a Arctozolt in the back right now. That's always going to be nice. But Arctozolt itself is not going to be useful because of the Hawlucha, which can sweep at any time. I mean, outspeed at any time. So let's see what he goes to. He goes to Coco again. We can keep it simple. We can go Lando, for example. Let's try that now. No risk. We don't need to risk it. If he U-turns, so be it. Yeah, he doesn't U-turn. That's fine too. Now what do? We can probably Earthquake, because Earthquake will hit anything trying to switch in right now. If he goes Hawlucha, I'm fine with that, because it doesn't have terrain up. So yeah, we get the Earthquake off right now. And what is he going to do? Is it Choice Specs? We don't really know anything about it right now. So what do? We don't know anything about Dragapult right now. Landorus is too valuable to sacrifice. So let's sacrifice Volcanion. It's unlikely we'll need Volcanion anymore. So let's sacrifice it here. Yeah, it is Specs Shadow Ball. We're going to die. No problem with that. Yeah, let's throw off an Earth Power. Yeah, we do die. Now we have some options. Torn will live a hit, probably. We can go Ninetales, probably. Yeah, let's Ninetales, and we can Freeze Dry, we can Aurora Veil. Let's Freeze Dry just to get the kill. He goes to Heatran, we're fine with that. Let's Aurora Veil now. And the main thing is going to be positioning ourselves to not choke versus the Hawlucha. That's going to be the main thing right now. Don't choke versus Hawlucha. We go Lando. Magma Storm is doing 15, really not enough. Let's Earthquake here. We should be killing something. If he goes Hawlucha, it's not a threat because it doesn't have a terrain up right now. Yeah, he sacrifices Dragapult. He's probably going to go to Coco, maybe. And we really have to be careful about not choking versus the Hawlucha right now. So what are the ways we can choke, right? Substitute Hawlucha versus Toxic Lando. That's one way we can choke. So we do have to be careful right now. He might be trying to sacrifice right now. We could defog the terrain away. That's another option we have. Let's try doing that. Let's defog the terrain. Yeah, he U-turns. He's probably going to go to Heatran right now. Okay, that didn't work. Now we have to make a decision right now. Do we Toxic? Even though this could be Taunt, for example, what do we do, right? Let's Toxic. It could be Taunt, it could be Substitute. Okay, so he close commented there, and now we should win the game. We can simply switch out now. Let's go to Corv. That game was actually a lot closer than it could have been. If this was Taunt or Substitute, we could have been in trouble right there. So a little too close for comfort right now. Now he uses Swords Dance, but it's not going to be enough. Yeah, and he's going to take Rocky Helmet damage, Hail damage, all these types of damages are going to keep coming up. Let's go, what do we do now? Let's go U-turn. Close combat, doesn't even kill, yeah, okay. Now we can go to whatever we want, basically. Let's go Lando, get leftovers back, and we should be sweeping the game right now. He goes Coco, not really a big deal, is it? Yeah, let's Earthquake here. Then we should finish off the Heatran too, and we can go get one more game. Yeah, he does forfeit there. We're at 1400 exactly now. Let's try this Gloking team right now. And using a Magnet Pull Trapper is always a good idea. So we're playing this interesting team with Corviknight. So Magnezone is going to be able to trap Corviknight. And then how do we proceed from there, right? Urshifu is a strong Pokemon this game. Corviknight's strong, Garchomp is strong. We could lead Garchomp. It's unclear what he can even do versus Garchomp, right? Let's lead Garchomp here. He leads Nidoking. Let's throw off an Earthquake right now. It doesn't look like Scarf Nidoking. Yeah, bad play from him. He was hoping, right? He was hoping we would Stealth Rock there, but really not a good play at all. Now we can go to Corviknight. We can go Urshifu. A lot of options right now. Let's go Corviknight here. Knockoff doesn't do enough. Now we can U-turn. And a really bad play because he was hoping, right? He was hoping that we would Stealth Rock there. But you can't hope, right? You have to make actual predictions, right? Now we trap the Corviknight. Really too easy right now. Now the Corviknight is gone too. He's in a lot of trouble right now. No switch-ins to Magnezone either. He goes to Hydreigon. What do we do here? Urshifu is slower than Hydreigon. We have Assault Vest Slowking, but this is a Dark type, so probably not a good idea. Our Weavile alone wins right now. Let's Thunderbolt for Chip right now. Yeah, there we go. This might be Substitute Belch. That's a interesting set, right? Let's Nasty Plot here. 48. He might substitute now. We have Triple Axle, so we can sacrifice Corviknight. He forfeits, yeah. So a really bad play to start the game, and this is something you kind of expect at low ladder. Let's actually go back to the Rising Voltage. And this time we're fighting a Rain team, and again, they are so weak to Toxic Spikes. Let's get them up. He leads Swampert. Again, Toxic Spikes here. Uses Earthquake, not really good enough. Let's knock off now. And you can see the value of Toxic Spikes in low ladder right now. So we get the knockoff here. He can either flip turn or Earthquake again. Let's just recover to keep ourselves at full health right now. Let's keep recovering to get back to full. And eventually he will flip turn. Oh, we get crit. Unfortunate. Okay. So what do you do after your most important Pokemon gets crit? Let's go Buzzwole here. Let's Leech Life. And maybe we shouldn't have risked the crit, I guess. But that's more hindsight than anything, right? Let's go Coco on potentially Hurricane right now. He U-turns here. He might go to Kingdra potentially. And we don't have a water resist anymore. He goes to Zapdos, which is interesting. I would have gone Kingdra and started sweeping. We get a critical hit, fortunately. He defogs there, okay. That's still a fine play from him, right? Because ultimately you don't want your Kingdra taking Toxic Spikes, yeah. So Kingdra is going to sweep us now because our Toxapex got crit. He goes to Swampert now, and what do we do, right? Corviknight maybe. We don't really have a lot of options right now. He gets Stealth Rock up, what do? We can defog at best, right? He might actually struggle to one-hit KO Corviknight, so that we could use that to our advantage, but it's going to be tough. We'll probably have to dodge a Hydro Pump from Kingdra. We don't really have much of another option right now, yeah. Let's try and dodge a Hydro Pump from Kingdra. It's Surf, okay, we get some chip damage off. Can we go to Coco maybe? No, we're gonna die. Yeah, I'm gonna forfeit this game right now. So sometimes you do get hacks, but it was our fault, kind of, for letting the Toxapex get a chance to get crit, right? So let's try something else. Let's try, you know what? Let's try a different team. Let's try SD Bisharp now. Again, another sample team. Okay, we get a team versus this type of hyper offense team, it looks like. Well, maybe not necessarily hyper offense, but there is a Scolipede. We do have Whirlwind Skarmory for that. So basically, we just have to be careful, right? That's all we have to do. Let's lead Dragapult. Always good to lead something fast, right? He leads with Scolipede. Maybe it's a Hazard Scolipede. We can Flamethrower. Oh, it's Endure. Very interesting set. Flamethrower. He gets a speed boost. Why would you... Oh, it's Endeavor. Okay, that makes sense. It's Endeavor Scolipede. But that doesn't work on Ghost types, right? Let's Flamethrower again. Yeah, okay, so it was like a Hazard lead, okay? Interesting set. He probably had Endeavor and was going to Endeavor Skarmory, right? Now he goes to Zera, but we have Lando. So he does knock us off, right? We can defog or we can earthquake, U-turn, whatever it is. And based on like a hazard lead Scolipede, this is probably like a bulk up Corviknight if I had to guess, right? So let's just defog here. Yeah, let's defog here. We have options, right? We can toxic. I think he'll future sight, so we can toxic, predicting that. Let's go ahead and do that. I doubt he'll scald. But from a risk-reward perspective, what if he does scald? Then we're going to lose the game to Zera, so it's not worth the risk at all. It's not even worth U-turning, actually, because what if it's Rocky Helmet? So let's immediately go Slowking here. Yeah, so it wasn't worth the risk. Like, we could have made a prediction, but it wasn't worth it to make that prediction. Now let's go to Lando again. And this team is weak to Zera, so we do have to be careful. He makes a play, he goes to Victini, which is probably Glaciate, right? So let's go to Slowking on that. Final Gambit, okay. So he's really breaking us down right now, but we do have tools in the back to deal with Zera and Garchomp. And when you play Hyper Offense, it's about understanding what is valuable to you. That Lando play, it would have worked there, but it wouldn't have been a consistent play, right? So now what do? Do we sacrifice Slowking? Not necessarily, because it could be useful for Slowbro and Corviknight. Let's go to Clefabelle here. He gets Stealth Rock up. Should we get our own Stealth Rock up? Should we Moonblast? What do we do? He can't threaten us immediately, so let's get Stealth Rock up. He does forfeit, okay. Really interesting.